All right, guys, we are back. Welcome to the eSports Report Daily Update. It is Tuesday, April 15th, tax day. Get your taxes in. And while you're at it, check out these rosters. The roster lock is 1 minute away, 4 minutes away according to this computer next to me. And man, we have all of the rosters actually submitted in here. Let's go through them one by one. Kicking it off at the number 1 seed, you got Complexity. These guys are your Season 1 champions, your world champions in Call of Duty goes Aches, a.k.a. Patrick Price, playing with Ian Porter, Crim6, Tyler Polchow, TP, and Damon Barlow, Karma, the undefeated champions at the moment. Their only loss coming at Regionals. Since then, they have been going off into every single Grand Finals that they've attended in their last 12 events with 10 wins. So not technically undefeated, but these guys basically a dynasty. Let's move on to the next squad. Envious making a big move here. Rambo stepping back to that coaching role once again. Merc, Study, and Nameless now playing with Parasite, who is far and wide the best player that I saw on Curse Las Vegas this weekend. He was going off with the SMG. I think he is going to bring a lot of slaying power that Envy has been looking for. The question is, where do they make up for Rambo's objective play? Our next squad is FaZe Red. You heard this move was coming right after the Call of Duty Championships replays. Classic, JCap, and Theory. Theory coming over from Team Caliber, definitely going to be looking to carry on in that objective role, also providing some slaying kills and allowing Classic to get a little bit more loose with his playstyle. When Proofy was on the squad, Classic wasn't able to roam like he normally did back at the start of the game. He's going to move back to a more comfortable position, and FaZe Red is looking to improve on their placings. Next squad, FaZe Black. These guys are taking over the 3rd spot from Curse. FaZe now having 2 teams, FaZe Red and FaZe Black. FaZe Black consisting of 3 former members of Strictly Business in Saint, Sensor, and Dito, and the lead slayer from Team Caliber, Informal. So this squad looking very strong. Apathy now over with TK. Everyone else from SB now wearing FaZe. Strictly Business, of course, if Strictly Business is now FaZe Black, who's Strictly Business? It's the Young Guns, Method, Spacely, and John. All of these guys were too young to go to the Call of Duty Championships, but are incredible players in their own rights. John was a monster at UMG Philly. I remember watching him with Denial. Spacely, he's been around with some of the best players in the league. And of course, Methods and Stainville teaming together prior to CoD Champs, only breaking up due to Methods' age restrictions. So Stainville comes over to be the veteran on this lineup. That move made today as Justice had 0 players at one point going into the final 3 hours. Our next squad to show you is that Justice lineup, and this is new, guys. Breaking news here. They just announced it on Twitter, and here it is. Sin and Doubt from Xfinity are half of this squad with BL Fire and Twiz the second half. We interviewed BL Fire last week about his move over to Denial with Twiz. They now make the decision to join Season 2, get in on the action, and they are playing with the duo Sin and Doubt. This squad could go very far, but not nearly as hyped as this move today. Let's go over to the OpTic Gaming. I'm ready for it. Nade Shot and Clayster, you heard them in the booth. That packs not only phenomenal players, these guys can cast their asses off. Was so impressed by their skill. And you got Proofy coming over from FaZe. Scumpy, of course, the Slayer for OpTic Gaming, making the return. So that meant Embos is now going to go start up his new squad, OpTic Nation. They are not in the league at the moment. That is Embos playing with Killa, Miracles, and Ricky. There's a look at OpTic Nation. So these guys planning on fighting through Anaheim and going into that Season 3 play-in tournament, finishing in the top 4 to secure a spot in Season 3. Our next squad, Team Caliber, Apathy, Sharp, Gunjar, and Neslo. Sharp and Gunjar, of course, needing 2 teammates, had Methods on the squad for a moment, played with Apathy, won a 2K, decided, you know what, this would be good. We should pick up Dito and Apathy from Strictly Business. But Dito's sketch yesterday left the spot on the roster, and Sharp immediately called Neslo. Neslo is back in a Team Caliber jersey. He's always been loyal to this organization. Good friends with Sharp and Gunjar as well. Really excited to see what this squad can do. And Apathy, honestly, I'm not supposed to be biased, but I think I'm his biggest fan. He is so fun to watch, so clutch when they need him most. He is going to bring a lot to this team. The question is, can they stay consistent I don't think getting along will be an issue for any of these 4. Moving on to the next squad, you're going to see Curse Black. Of course, Curse making 2 major moves. First one, Strictly Business, Parasite is going to be dropped from the squad. He went over to FaZe, then ended up on Envy. Burns has moved up into the position on this team with Tipsy being the captain. You got Mochila and Enable being brought over. Mochila, of course, was on Curse New York. Enable played with Denial West at the US Champs. Our next squad, Curse Orange, Mud Dog, and Croaster playing with Miyagi and Attach. This is going to be a very young squad. They're moving into the team house in Atlanta. We'll see how far they can go. Of course, Mud Dog and Croaster, the other half of Xfinity, they finished just outside the top 8 at Call of Duty Championships, but did make it through the US Regionals. Miyagi, the young gun, he's been on a number of teams recently, playing in all the 2Ks with different lineups. And Attach, formerly of Curse Youth. Let's keep on rolling through our final teams. Here's a look at Vex Gaming. Now, Vex qualified with Saint, and that is not Slack's face on the far right. I apologize, Slack. But we have Pluto playing with Slasher, Huddle, and Slacked. And this squad, we saw what they could do in the qualifier. But Saint was their star sniper. He really pulled a lot of kills in Search and Destroy, an expert player there. I'm wondering how hard or how well can Slasher fill into this new role. Interesting movement there. But Huddle and Slack, you know this duo. They went all the way back to playing on Unite together at the start of Black Ops 2. I think this should be a solid lineup. But I'm most excited about the other team that came in this play-in tournament, Erupt Gaming. We don't even have photos of these guys yet until they come to a tournament. It's going to be Legal, Perplexed, Vexed, and Zuma. You know them for their upsets. They've taken down OpTic multiple times in the 2Ks, in the 5Ks. They've gone very far in almost all of our weekend online tournaments. Zuma, one of the best underrated players, I think, in the game right now. Every time I watch him, he is impressing me, whether it's a 1-on-3 clutch, whether it's just his sniping skill, or his ability to go off in the respawn game modes. Look out for Erupt to cause some major upsets at the start of the season. And that is all 12 teams coming into Season 2. We now have one of the best players in the world, the reigning champion from Complexity. Aches is here to talk about these new lineups. Aches, first and foremost, what do you think about this new squad for Justice? They had a last-minute scramble, went for 2 players of Denial, and then went after the other 2 from Xfinity and Doubt and Sin. Aches, you here with me, my friend? Ron, I think we lost Aches. Well, we'll get the final thoughts. Guys, we're going to commercial break. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show, break down all of the rosters one more time, and tell you when you can start watching the Season 2 activity.